G'day, everybody, and welcome to We'll Never Be Royals, the podcast where we talk about royal things. I'm Rossi, and that's okay.
Hi, hey mate.
Wow, this is off to a great start. Can't even remember my own name.
It has been a while.
A little bit rusty. I think what I meant to say next is how's your shit?
It's good. We've established in the last 24 hours that neither you or I have COVID, no matter how much we think we do. So that's a win.
No matter how many $15 really hard to get RATs we take, no COVID.
No COVID. Also on the baby front, if it becomes apparent that we are having boys, our balls will drop this week. So that's exciting.
Do you know we have now been pregnant for half a year?
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And what a half a year it's been.
Half a year of your life up the duff. Congratulations.
Wow. Thanks, you too, mate. You too.
Mm-hmm.
How's your shit?
Pretty good. Just plugging away. Today we are going to do a 2021 year in review for the Royals.
Oh.
So, guys, it's not really baby related. I can hear the sighs of relief from across the waves of the internet. But first of all, why don't we do some bloody royal news because it is popping off this week. Let's kick it off with Andrew.
Well, actually, I was just going to real quick give you the other royal news headlines to tell you how not newsy they are.
Okay, go on then.
The only two I could find was an article by some website I'd never heard that says Prince William has a 14th century ancestor that looks like him. And in 1980, Charles wore a disguise to a skiing resort in Switzerland. That's literally the only other news I could find.
Whoa. Look, just quickly, I got into a Hello Magazine rabbit hole and I have found Kate Middleton 40th birthday pop-up shop, online pop-up shop. So Hello Magazine have listed all the brands that she wears and all the items that she wears and sends you direct links to them, which is very helpful. Thank you, Hello Magazine. This is the kind of content you should be pumping out on the daily.
Oh, my God. God, can you send it to me?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I have stumbled across Princess Margaret's grandson. His name's Arthur Chatto, and he's only 18, but he's legal. So he is now the new royal babe.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not that we're both happily in relationships, but you are allowed to do half your age plus 7. So he's still out of our range, I think.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah, that's okay. Good for him.
Yeah, he's going to do very well with the ladies, especially if he keeps posting shirtless photos of himself on Instagram.
I am so happy for him.
Yeah. There's also one of him playing the bagpipes.
Oh, that's, yeah. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Andrew update. So, in the last, I don't know, maybe 24 hours, the US judge has overturned the decision in Virginia. You have to say Giuffre.
Oh, do you?
Giuffre, even though it's spelled like giraffe.
Yeah.
Giuffre. Or we could just call her a married name, which is Roberts.
That's better.
But she had a civil suit against Epstein, and in that civil suit, it was agreed, because they settled out of court, it was agreed that she could not go after any other person involved in this case.
Correct.
And so now the judge has overturned that ruling. Is that correct?
Yes, which means that she can go ahead in a civil case against Andrew. And I actually did some digging because I don't really understand it. Some digging on the difference between a criminal and a civil case in the States. If you want that background.
Please explain.
Okay. Sorry, my phone's going off because someone I didn't tell I was pregnant has just found out that I'm pregnant and is like, oh my God, over and over and over again on a text thread. So I'm just going to put that away.
Okay.
Civil, criminal. So, a civil court case is when you can sue another person for being liable for an act of harm, but the only restitution that you get is money. So it's about compensating the victim, not about punishing the person who did the wrong.
Got it.
Criminal cases are about punishing people.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And so the difference is that the jury or a judge or whatever in a civil case doesn't have to prove that there was anything wrong done beyond a reasonable doubt. They just have to prove that something was likely. So it's a lot easier to sue someone in a civil case than it is to convict someone in a criminal case, which I assume is why we're doing civil, not criminal. Because to do criminal, you have to get the DNA and shit.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you for that explanation. That is good. But Virginia Giuffre she's done well to get this far. A, she'd already settled with Epstein in a civil case. B, she is not American. So for her to use the legal US system, I think it's been a little bit difficult for her. I think she's had to jump through some hoops to get there. She lives in Australia. She's bloody, I don't know, where is she?
She might not be an American anymore, but she was born in America. I was reading up on it. Okay. You want to know another tidbit? Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought this was interesting. The place where she says, what's her name? Ghislaine, recruited her was Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. She was working there. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Because he's implicated in this whole thing too.
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago. Does he? Because he still loves that place, right? He used to
take loves that place.
Bloody presidential meetings there, right?
Yep, and he was reportedly on a lot of Epstein's sex trafficking flights, allegedly.
Look, I think no one is surprised about that, though.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
Okay, so back to Andrew. Now they're saying that within the year he'll have to face this, probably later this year, he'll have to face this civil case. And I heard yesterday his legal fees could be up to $5-6 million US. And then if he has to pay, it'll be in the millions also. Yeah.
And just this morning, it came out that he's being stripped of all his titles, so he's not Your Highness anymore, which also means that he has to deal with this as a private citizen. So the Queen's not going to pay his fees. I mean, I assume he's got a few million in his back pocket anyway, but he is to be treated as not a royal.
But when very long time ago, I think maybe season 1 of We'll Never Be Royals, we did an Andrew episode or maybe a Fergie episode, and they were not very good at the money management.
No, they really shit at it, which is
so he might not have any money. This could be an issue.
Yeah, I just read something the other day that they've been trying to sell some dodgy Swiss ski chalet for a while, and apparently he was able to get that off his hands. So, it is always good when you can free up some cash by selling off your Swiss properties, isn't it?
Yeah, that does come in handy. Yeah. Okay. And so Ghislaine also, since we last recorded the pod, Ghislaine has been convicted.
Yeah, but not sentenced, but she's never getting out of there.
It's up to 20 years, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think. And if she ever gets out, they're just going to find something else. It's kind of like OJ. You know how like OJ got off, but then they just like kept catching him out on shit to like
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he kept doing shit. I don't know
Well,
if Ghislaine is that dumb though.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's true. That's true. But like they're gonna like if she's ever had parking tickets that she hasn't paid, they're gonna get her.
Probably. Okay, so in some happy news, Kate turned 40. Buckingham Palace released 3 amazing new portraits of her. She looks amazing. She's amazing. Amazing Kate.
Oh, I mean, we get. Look, I just want to apologize for anything negative I've ever said about Kate because she's just like, look, we all thought that she was a swan. She was never an ugly duckling, right? But it's like she was a swan who's now transformed into like a super swan. Like she's like we thought she was as good as she could get, but she just keeps getting better.
She does. I mean, this is probably bad, but the first thing I thought when I saw those portraits was, Mex, it was the best thing that ever happened to you.
100%. 100%.
Get those other 2 out of her way, and here she comes.
Yeah. She just needed an enemy to be classy against.
Yes, yes. And she doesn't take any direct jabs at Harry and Meghan, which makes her look really classy.
Yeah.
And then she just churns out those portraits,
Ugh.
rocks up to movie premieres in gold sparkly dresses, does all their royal engagements, pumps out these bloody royal kids. She just does everything right.
Yeah, she just does everything right. Do you think, though, because I know you've talked about this in the past, that her mum, Carol, might fuck it all up because she's a bit of a booze hag?
Now, I think even if, you know, it was all to go tits up with her family, I still don't think it would hurt her, because everyone knows she's a commoner.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, jeez, she's done well.
Yeah, she's done so well. So Kate turned 40. Also, let's just talk about this a little bit. Biz did her Christmas speech at Christmas, obviously. There was lots of chat about Philip, and she wore pink, not yellow, as I had predicted.
And look, I love Biz. I worry that she may have been in a lot of pain because that dress didn't fit very well, which made me think, oh, it's been hard to like get her into something. Did you notice that?
I think she's lost a lot of weight.
Yes, she did look quite thin. She did speak well, but then as soon as that came out, there was some conspiracy saying that, look, maybe she's already dead and they're just not telling us. Which I don't think are true, but it is interesting to think about.
I think they have to tell us when she dies. Like, they have to tell us. They can't just be, yes, of course. I mean, they've got like, I don't know, a 12-hour grace period, and they have to tell the world the British monarch is dead.
But not in the middle of a plague. Like, what if it's in the public interest to like keep everybody calm?
It's not, though, because there'll be, you know, there's procedures that have to happen. Like, someone has to step in for her. Charles has to be at the ready.
You're a bit too trusting of like the British political system, I think. I think there's some shady bastards that would just be like, nah, can't be bothered with all that ruckus. Like, they don't want people going out to the palace and leaving flowers and shit there. They need everyone to just like chill the fuck out.
No, they would love that.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Bojo's beyond caring about COVID now. All he's worried about is, you know, Partygate.
Yeah, apparently you never cared that much anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, Bojo. What a dickhead.
Anyway, good. I think that's all the royal news. Good update.
Well done, mate.
Okay, so this episode, we're just going to do a recap of all the things that happened last year with the Royals. And buckle up because there's a lot of shit that happened.
Ready. I'm so ready. What are you?
Okay. This is in no particular order.
Love that.
Okay. Obviously, the major thing that happened last year was Phil the Greek died.
Look, he did. And a la Betty White, it's a bit dev because he was so close to making the ton.
So close to making the ton.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, he was probably psyched. It can't have been that fun to be 99. They took away his license.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he was a bit struggle street the last. I wouldn't say the last few years. sorry. That just snuck up on me. But definitely the last couple of months he was not in a good way.
Yeah, especially with Harry and Meghan fucking about. That's got to piss me off.
Yeah. So that's probably the most significant thing that happened to the Royals last year. But also was that bloody Harry and Meghan Oprah interview.
Oh, the gift that just keeps on giving. I mean, I'm glad from an entertainment point of view, I'm glad they did it for me because it was very entertaining. It was not a good decision for them personally, however, because it just made them look a bit like dickheads, I think.
It did. 100% made them look like dickheads. And I think it's every time I kind of go back and watch a little bit, it makes it even more cringe.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just like so serious and like, yeah, it's just, But I think most people I've spoken to in the States, loved it, but loved it in a different way than we loved it. And are like, it made them more pro Meghan.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a different narrative running in the States, obviously, because she's American and they don't understand the British monarchy, and so obviously they side with her. But that's the thing. She doesn't understand the British monarchy either.
That's a good point. But I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, oh, if Meghan was Australian, how would we feel about it? Like, would that change our POV or would it never happen? Like, would an Australian Meghan never behave that way? Discuss.
I totally agree. Australian Meghan would not behave that way, a la Mary of Denmark.
Great point. Also, she'd be called Megan.
She would be called Megan, and she would understand that it is not unreasonable to curtsy to the Queen.
100%. 100%. And she wouldn't, especially early on, there was a fair bit of press baiting by Meghan, like before they were engaged.
Okay. This is the third on my list, which I think says more about me than it does about the list. But Kate and the gold dress.
Oh. What else is there to say other than what a fucking babe and God save her?
We'd all been in a pandemic for 2 years. Nothing had been happening. There's suddenly a movie premiere in London. Kate turns up in a full-length gold sequined gown.
It was a Bond premiere too, and she outbonded Bond.
Yes. James Bond, what's his name? Daniel Craig was wearing a pink velour suit.
Yep.
And no one cared because everyone was looking at Kate.
Yep. And like, Will's, God bless him, attractive guy, but like losing more hair by the day, those ears kind of inch out from his head ever more. So he could easily distract away from whatever she did, and yet she showed up and like it didn't matter at all what he looked like.
No.
Wow, King who?
Queen Kate though.
Oh, I have to apologize again because remember how we used to call her Borzo, and then neck minute, she just come through.
What a hero.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. I could go on.
Here she comes to save the day.
Wow.
Wow. Next, Andrew saga continues. We've already talked about this. I mean, how much longer is it going to go? At least another year.
Yeah, at least another year, and then Fergie will say something ridiculous about it, and that'll give us another 6 months, and then like the press will stalk his poor daughters to see what their reaction is endlessly, and anytime they do anything, it'll link back to him,
Yeah.
and then he'll die one day, and it'll be
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah. I also meant to tell you the other day, I should have screenshotted it. Story time with Fergie and friends just put up a note on their Instagram story saying we are on holiday or we're not doing any stories until further notice. And I was like, wait, this is because of Andrew.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it was probably the right call, especially because they live together. And like, imagine if he accidentally walked past the camera in his jocks or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm sure everyone just heard marketing director Billy slam the bloody door as he left the house. Like imagine if that was Andrew. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. Look, poor Fergs. She does always say the wrong thing. They do have a very interesting relationship. She probably should stop living with him and distance herself a little bit, but I don't think she's going to because
Yeah.
she just can't help herself.
I actually don't think she can afford it. I think that's the crux of the issue.
Well, he's not going to be a coin purse much longer if he has to pay these legal bills.
No, that's why she's had to write a bloody non-dirty romance novel.
Yeah, is that also on your list?
Actually, that wasn't on my list. But that happened last year.
It did. It really did. Wow.
15 years in the making, apparently. Next up, Megan went on the Ellen Show, which is just the sequel to that bad Oprah interview, but I think probably worse.
Yeah, look, Megan's lucky that Andrew's a dirty scumbag because otherwise that would be the worst thing that's ever happened to the royal family.
Probably, actually. That is a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't even just bad, it was like offensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, what the other royals do and the interviews they give, like Eugenie last year did a low-key interview with an art gallery because she's into art and she knew all about this exhibition. And so she did an interview, spoke about herself a little bit, but also mainly about the art. Like that's the kind of interview the royal family does. Megan goes on Ellen and makes up stories about how middle class she was.
Yeah. Yep.
To appeal to a different demographic that she could get sympathy from, because the one that she had last tried to get sympathy from didn't work.
Yeah.
Is that a bit harsh?
Drank out of a baby's bottle and tried to embarrass some small business owners who may or may not have been real. No, not too harsh. Not too harsh. That's exactly what happened.
Oh, Megan. But, you know, she's sitting in M1 to see to a mansion thinking that she nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what happens. I hope we get to find this out for ourselves. But I think when you reach a certain level of wealth and fame, you just have a lot of yes people around you that tell you you're amazing constantly.
Yeah. I mean, and I know she probably doesn't read online comments, but, you know, when you go to buy an electrical appliance, you read the online reviews. Before you buy it, you read the online reviews. I think you need to kind of be prepared to do that.
She definitely reads the comments. Like, what else does she have to do all day? She's not building out that charity, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, the charity that ran at a bloody loss last year because they had to fight that
Oh, the Daily Mail.
Yeah, the Mail on Sunday.
Horrific.
Yeah.
I think they have pulled their finger out eventually, but it took a year too long.
Yeah. Okay, now everybody had a bloody baby last year.
Yeah.
It started off with Eugenie. She had August in May.
Yeah.
And then Megan had a little bit in June.
Oh God, was that in June?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Beatrice had Sienna in September.
When did Floor Baby happen? That must have been 2020.
Zara. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's say 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that Andrew's girls had a little bit of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm also happy for Harry and Meghan. Like, hooray! What a complicated life that little girl's going to have, though.
Who, little bit?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, better than most still, probably, but strange.
It will be
Like,
strange because she will always have this, idea of being a royal, but it won't be very apparent in her life.
yeah, like, has she met the Queen? Will she ever meet the Queen?
Nah, Biff's gonna cark it before she meets her.
Fascinating.
And then Charles will become king. Her grandfather will be king. How much time will she spend with him?
Mm.
And then her uncle becomes king. And,
Yeah. Yeah. So, what happens? Let's play a game. What happens if, let's say, there's a tragedy and William dies in a plane crash?
Mhm.
Harry's still in line, right? Like they'd wheel him back in.
No, it would default to George.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty
Huh.
sure.
Yeah, righto. That's got to be uncomfortable.
I think even if he's underage, probably.
I mean, they should just give it to Kate.
Well, yeah, I don't know what they would do. They probably have not had to do with this for a long time, but
Mm.
George would take the throne, but he'd have a slew of advisors, surely.
Or would it go to which one's older? Beatrice Eugenie.
Oh yeah, she's Beatrice. No, Eugenie. Oh, I don't know. I think it's Beatrice. I think it's Beatrice. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right. I mean, we should know this, but let's keep it an open question. Let's see.
We'll circle back.
Yeah.
This was my favorite royal but not royal news of last year. Kitty Spencer got married in Italy in July. It was fucking amazing.
Okay, I thought for a minute there you were going to say Secret Son Simon. I'm glad you didn't. Kitty Spencer. Couldn't set a foot wrong except that one time you said it, you didn't really like her mouth. But other than that, fantastic.
So critical.
I know. She's the real winner in all this. Gets all the
Yeah.
glory, none of the annoyance. Just gets to hang out on Instagram being fabulous. I think she has a deal with Dolce & Gabbana, right? Still?
Oh, I mean, that's who did her wedding dress and her 5 other dresses. And I think maybe she is tied to them indefinitely because all she does now is hold up handbags near her face on her Instagram. Like,
What a life.
hey, if he's going to get you 5 free wedding dresses, I'd do that. 100%.
Which she could afford anyway.
Yeah, her I was going to say elderly. Her older husband can definitely afford it.
Is she in line for, you know how Diana's family's like the douchey of something?
Oh.
Is she in line for that?
I
Like,
don't
is she
know.
the brother's kid? I know you don't know the answer, but let's pretend. Let's pretend she's in line for the douche.
I don't think it would be very much though, that douchey. It's like bloody
The shit one.
up yonder.
Yeah, right. I mean, you'd still take it though. Better than no douche.
Yeah. But it's not like, oh mate, who's
Grosvenor?
Grosvenor.
Grosvenor.
Was it Will? Hugh Grosvenor.
Hugh,
His douchey is the one you want.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive one.
His everything is the one you want.
Because it's like the central part of London, which would be, I don't know, maybe the most expensive real estate in the world.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Nah, that's a bit of a stretch. I think probably Monaco or New York City would be more expensive.
Okay. Or like, okay. Anyway, he's doing okay.
Yeah. We digress. Also, Wills and Kate, it was their 10-year wedding anniversary last year.
Oh, yeah, they did good and they posed for a whole bunch of photos. They're so good at posing for a whole bunch of photos.
They really are.
Yeah. And they posed like in a similar way, like her hand was in the same spot and she hasn't aged at all. He's aged a bit, but I mean, at this point he can't really get hair plugs or a toupee because everybody knows. But she's doing great. Those kids keep getting cuter. Charlotte's eyebrows, just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah, and we've had 10 years of looking back at their wedding video going, oh, remember that? Oh,
yeah.
Good day.
You know what I'm most ever about in my life?
Yeah.
Is that I missed that wedding because I was in a play. And actually with our friend Nick Kane. And I didn't
you didn't watch it live,
no,
you mean?
I didn't watch it live. Oh. I've still never watched it in its entirety because I had to do some play that didn't make me rich or famous.
Wow.
And it would have been a better life choice to just watch the goddamn wedding. Anyway, this only matters to me, but I needed to get that grievance out.
Okay, I'm glad you got it out.
Thanks.
Okay, couple more things happened. I think this is only on the list because it was, recent and in my mind.
Sure.
Barbados left the Commonwealth and Prince Charles fell asleep at the ceremony.
Yeah, and Rihanna is now the queen.
Yep.
Charles needs to stop falling asleep at things if he's going to be king.
Yeah, it was a really bad form.
Yeah, because Biz never falls asleep. She's always very good.
No. Like, could he say how insignificant this ceremony was more than by falling asleep?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was an awkward engagement for him because I'm sure the royal family, he would have been raised to, hold on to all those countries for dear life. That's his biggest role. And then he has to show up for the divorce party. That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But don't fall asleep, mate.
Nah, mate. Nah. Do coke. Do anything.
Have a nap in the afternoon.
Yes. Yes, do anything except fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the final thing on my list is that Biz cancelled Christmas.
Look, she did. I respect it.
She's just, she just had enough of 2021 and it got to Chrissy and she was like, fuck this. I don't have to deal with everybody's shit. Christmas is cancelled.
Yeah. And look, she's also not having a great 2022 given the whole Andrew sitch.
Yes. And I think another one of her friend died already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she probably doesn't have that many actual friends.
No. Yeah. So look, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times, 2021 for Biz.
It wasn't really the best of times, though, was it?
I mean, she got 3 more great-grandchildren. I mean, I don't know, maybe 4, 3 or 4.
Yeah, maybe Floor Baby, we're not sure. Yeah, look, I'm not a grandparent, but I reckon after number 4, you're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Especially when they start calling them Lilibet.
It's amazing that no one's done that yet or before.
Is it? Because it's pretty Tez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a quick little RBT for you.
Oh, by the way, I watched a bit of RTB on the telly the other day. Bit of random breath test. What's it called? Course?
RBT. Random breath test, yes.
Yeah, what a great television show.
Yeah.
I'll post a link on the Facebook.
Okay. Actually, hang on, wait.
Okay.
So, also 2022
Yep.
is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee.
Yeah, in June, right?
Yes. So that is 70 years of being on the throne.
Wow. Do you think she's just like, can we stop with the Jubilees? Like, I'm tired.
Nah. I think you'd love Jubilee. I think you'd be like, yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing this job for a long time. Throw me a party.
Okay. Sure.
So hopefully she makes it to the Platinum Jubilee and doesn't cark it. And hopefully all this COVID shit's over and done with. Harry and Meghan don't do another stunt. Andrew is like, keeps it in line till then.
I don't think any of those things are going to come through for her. She's going to be over for.
I bet her private secretary is just like on the blower all day, like, you lot just keep your shit together until June.
Oh, God. Poor lady.
Okay, sorry. Now we can do the RBT.
Okay, go.
Okay, so RBT stands for Random Breath Test, yes, but it also stands for Royal Baby Trivia, but this is nothing to do with babies, this trivia.
Yeah, you're so good at, like, producing.
So it's just RT. It's just Royal Trivia.
Great. I can't wait.
Okay. Which monarch started the tradition of delivering a speech on Christmas Day?
Ooh, that is a fabulous question. I reckon it'd be pretty recent because oh wait, okay. So my thought process was it has to be pretty recent because you would need radio, but then probably before radio they just did it to all the bitches at court, which means it could be like ancient. Okay, Christmas. I'm gonna say Victoria because she was the first with the Christmas tree, so maybe she was also the first like with the Christmas vibes.
Look, mate, not bad. It was actually her son. George the Fifth.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of mean.
He was mean. He was the grumpy old bastard who was Biz's grandfather.
Who sort of ruined his sons, hence the whole abdication situation.
Yes, that's right. So it was Grumpy George, and the first one he ever did was in 1932.
Oh, well, that is quite late.
Yeah. 3 minutes on the wireless, and some poet named Rudyard Kipling wrote it for him.
Oh, I think that's a famous poet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And they made sure they did it just after 3 p.m. before everyone got too pissed in the day.
Oh, yeah. I will say, normally by 3 p.m. I'm too far gone.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, great. Shit, this is up to 40 minutes already.
I know. Thanks, mate. Good job.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back on some baby trivia and baby subjects next week. But we just thought we'd do a little recap of 2021 before we bounce into 2022. Make sure you check us out on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. Check out our website. Check out our merch. Love's long time. Thanks for
Happy New Year.
listening. Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for listening. See you all of a sudden.
Okay, bye.